All right, let's reflect. So I want to go over the anatomy physiology discussion here and have this reflection. And so basically, the organ I was interested in the most is the heart. You know, obviously I work in cardiology, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you learn everything about the heart. So it was great to just be able to go through that curriculum and learn the heart and how it works and how it pumps the blood and the blood flow. And so the flow of blood is really interesting to me because it's coming in from the superior and inferior vena cava, and then it's pumping into the right atrium, and then it pumps to the right ventricle, which then pumps up into the pulmonary artery to get that oxygen because it starts out being deoxygenated coming in from with the veins, right? But ultimately, it comes back in to the left atrium and then pumps down into the left ventricle, which then pumps out through the aortic arch. And so it was just really cool to kind of understand that concept and to learn that information, especially going into sonography, which obviously it applies because, you know, when you're doing sonography, you're doing a scan of the heart, and you're also using the Doppler to show the flow of the blood flow and velocity. And so that's a cool way to apply it to sonography. One tool that, or you know, I use a lot of tools as far as the studying goes. I watch different YouTube videos. Obviously, it's great to read the book, read through the entire chapter to understand the information. And then certain things that you learn in the course, obviously, you're not going to just necessarily know everything. And so when something kind of comes up and you have more questions about, I would use just ChatGPT and just ask it to maybe explain it better and kind of come up with different ways to kind of get a full understanding of the system. And so obviously too, Mr. Halley was really encouraging at the beginning of the curriculum to use mind mapping as far as the notes, and that helped a lot. And so I would definitely do that as far as the learning goes. My study schedule though was pretty crazy just because I'm working, I have kids, I have a wife, I have a whole family and things to do. And so I work basically 7:30 to 5 every day. And so I'm kind of a night owl, so I would ultimately just study at night. And then if you get tired, I would just sleep, take a nap. Everyone would complain about me sleeping and not studying, my wife specifically. And so I would just get up and just kind of study. And so you just kind of have to study whenever you can, obviously. At work, in between patients, I would study to my own detriment because, certain employees would complain or whatever. But you just have to study. You have to listen to the YouTube videos while you're on your way to work or whenever you're driving. And so really, just finding the time, making the time, and getting it done. And so that's the gist.